Well, I am glad that I didn't have to evaluate Mark because I don't know any other teams besides Notre Dame. So I'm glad I had the privilege of evaluating Mauren. I only have a modicum of things to say and feedback for you. No nerves whatsoever. I love listening to you speak. This is your second speech, and I feel as though I've heard you speak more often than that. So I think you're very comfortable in front of everyone. I also think that your use of motion, you stood up here, but you were over here and you were over there and you were speaking to everyone back there. So it was a good range for you. No fillers really. I heard a so every once in a while, but it was used as a transition, so you do very well without fillers. I, however, do not. With the opening, so one of the objectives was to have a strong opening. I was pretty unclear with your opening, personally. I would have preferred for you to be more direct, so I knew exactly where you stood with what you were about to say. You talked about the article and the author's position with the article, but I didn't know what your position was, and then you even stated how you weren't going to debate whether it was quantity over quality, but your whole speech was about you debating what this author was saying. So maybe if you would have said, I was just thinking of something that would have been more clear, and so what I, just as my suggestion, would be something like, I read this article and I disagreed with the writer, but his points made sense. However, there are important things that were missing, and then it would have segued into your important points that he missed, that was the debate on why quantity is actually more important than quality. So I would have preferred something that was more clear, so then I could follow it. Your conclusion was strong though, because we knew where you stood, that you believed more in quantity than quality. And you supported your position throughout when you were telling the stories about your niece, and when you also supported the author's points about brother-in-laws coming in late and leaving early and things like that. So everything was supported, and that was great. I would have loved to hear more of the silly small stories, because we've all, as you said in yours, we all have been there in those family situations where you don't really maybe want to hang out with certain family members, but then you end up both having to go get coffee or getting a snack, and then you have that small, short moment that reconnects you on something so silly like a muffin or, just coffee, something simple. So I would have loved to hear more of those stories so I could have related to my life as well. And then you mentioned in the beginning about your parents. So since I was unclear in your introduction, and then you come with this amazing story how your parents came from Ireland and met in a New York bar, I didn't connect it at first. I'm like, oh wait, Irish, drink, bar, New York, met, that's an awesome story in itself. So I encourage you to do a speech on just that alone, because I would love to have heard that more. But all in all, you did a great job, especially for only your second one. It was just the opener. I would just get more direct and have a better punch.